Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Maria Jaju and this is the fourth in my Sepiatember series. Now if you haven't seen my previous videos, Sepiatember is a challenge that I invented for Instagram for the month of September. And the idea is to draw things that are sepia. Now that sounds silly, but what I mean is you can draw something that is just brown tones, which is in itself a challenge because brown has this very interesting quality to it where you can draw things that are very, very dynamic with it, or you can draw things that look very, very muddy. Or as I tried to take this challenge and as I was trying to design it, sepia is also the color of vintage, and it's the color of history and those old-timey photos that are faded and yellow, and it evokes this feeling of nostalgia and reminiscence. And so for every day of September, I had a prompt word. Now, I am not painting every day because I don't want to burn out. Literally, that's my goal. I tend to burn out during Inktober's when the expectation is to do something every day, and I just can't do it, and then it stresses me out that I skipped a day, and then I fall even further behind. It stresses me out more, and then I lose all creativity. I don't want that. But for me, brown is a challenge in itself because I don't use these colors very often, and so even though I made a prompt word for every day of the month, I'm only doing a painting every few days. And I couldn't really have a prompt word in September having to do with history and not have the 11th have something to do with September 11th. The word that I picked for it was hero, and different people took it in different ways, as those who are participating in the challenge. But to me, I wanted to call out some of the more unsung heroes of that tremendous tragedy. When September 11th happened, I was in high school. And I think that much like they talk about in the Kennedy assassination, which I don't have personal experience with, but if you were alive and you were older than a small child, you'll know exactly where you were when you found out that it happened. I know exactly where I was because I was in high school. I was 17 at the time. And we lived in upstate New York, maybe 35 miles outside New York City, 35 miles from where it happened. And I actually went to school with kids whose parents worked in Wall Street, who had to call their parents and panic when all of the phone networks were down. Now this is 2001, so it's kind of not really before cell phones, but kind of. It's definitely before iPhones. But trying to call and reach their parents who worked in that area and not being able to reach them is a devastating, devastating thing. In the end, nobody I know actually lost anybody that they knew, which is a lucky, lucky thing. But the very next day, my mom drove to Jersey to donate blood. And I think it's a testament to human goodness that after a few days, the medics in Jersey coast, they were starting to turn people away. Despite the huge amount of tragedy that happened, more people turned up to donate blood than blood was actually needed. And so I now donate blood every time I can. I can't donate blood this year because I recently went to India, so I have to wait for a year. But I do donate blood every time I can, and I think it's important to do what little you can to save lives, even of people that you never know and that you will never meet. And so, to me, I wanted to do this painting to the prompt hero and remembering September 11th on the 17th anniversary of that tragedy with this feeling in mind. So that's actually really all I wanted to say, but let me tell you a little bit about this painting too. This is burnt umber and burnt sienna. They look kind of the same in this painting, but there are actually two colors here. And I'm very glad that I was able to make something that is so personal to me.